Hello and welcome to the 6th edition of Former Employees of Lawrence and Scott's, and today we have Derek Hayden.
Yeah, hello Richard.
Hello you, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent, nice to see you.
And you?
We'll kick off again with when did you start at Scott's and when did you finish?
I started February the 7th, I believe, 1977. I think that was the 7th. Yeah, I think I finished on the 9th of May, something like that, in 2007.
2007.
Yeah, I just got the 30 year in.
Nice, yeah.
Just.
Still good
And then got made redundant.
Got made redundant.
Yeah.
You got paid off then.
I did actually,
Yeah.
which
Well, that's good.
that surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That was because I was technically employed by him on that.
Oh right, because you
Imagine.
stayed on for a fraction of the time, didn't you, afterwards?
I'd stayed, well, I had a 5-month contract and there was 10 days left of it when George Clare went bust.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was a nice chap actually, did you ever meet him?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I remember him, yeah.
Yeah, he was genuinely a nice chap.
Yeah, he was. I think he had great ideas, but just didn't pull them all off, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your time served at Scott's?
No, I wasn't at
You wasn't?
Scott's, no, I worked heat ray.
Okay, and then
Yeah, I was a heat ray sheet metal worker.
and that's what you did, sheet metal work, when you came to Scott's?
No.
No? What did
I
you
left
do?
that and went into the shoe trade. Believe it
Okay.
or not.
Yeah.
I ended up a master shoemaker.
Ah, yeah. Then you came to Lawrence and Scott's?
Then I came to Lawrence Scott, yeah.
As
A welder.
you came in as a welder?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that what you did welding right through? So
Well, I
you're
was
talking
doing-
30 years.
I was doing welding here on cars.
Okay.
Because if you go back to the 70s, they rotted like hell, didn't they? And well, a lot of the old cars didn't quite so much. They were a lot thicker material.
Right.
And
Start knocking them out cheaply and then...
yeah, that's when you
Yeah.
started getting the monocoque
Yeah.
cars. You know, they were just nailed together,
Yeah.
spark welding and that, and they couldn't seal inside. And
So what was it like coming into Lawrence and Scott's, like as from outside, if you like, not through doing your time,
Well,
and into the welding area, the welding bay? How many people were there
that
at
was
the time?
I think there was about 12 welders.
There was only 12.
This was Salhouse Road.
Okay, so you started.
I started up Salhouse Road in the sheet metal shop, yeah.
Yeah.
There was about 12 of us, but I actually went there to work nights.
Okay.
But I had to do some time. The February, I think that was August, when I started doing nights.
Yeah.
I had to learn what they were doing and
Oh yeah.
all that sort of thing.
Soon picked it
And
up. Yeah.
I never had any problems whatsoever. They were a nice load of blokes.
Yeah.
Got on with all of them.
Yeah.
You know, there was one or two who were, but that was pure coincidence. There was redundancies over the years,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
without naming anybody, obviously,
Yeah.
ones I didn't really take to.
Well, that's it. You can't take to everyone.
They went.
Yeah.
They went.
Yeah. So then that moved down to Hardy Road.
When we were taken over by FKI,
FKI. That's when.
I actually stayed on up there to help clear the hangar.
Right.
Because I could drive a forklift. Well, anyone could drive a forklift in them days, I think.
Okay.
And we gutted the place.
Yeah.
And of course that was originally, they call it Hangar 10.
Yeah, I've heard that mentioned.
Yeah, that was actually an aircraft hangar during the war.
Yeah.
They used to build aeroplanes.
Yeah.
And, I can't remember how many there was. We had 3.
So what year did that shut down, do you know?
86.
86,
Yeah.
so about 3 or 4
That was
years before I
86 we
started.
moved.
Yeah, about 3 years before I started. I mean, I would have loved to have seen the place, because,
Yeah.
but as
Well,
part of
the
the history of
building
it.
itself is still there. And part of what was Lawrence Scott is still there in what we called number 9. That wasn't actually a hangar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine and Supplies.
Right.
They'd taken us over, hadn't they, in
I know
the
what you
80s,
mean now, yeah.
early 80s.
Yeah. So who moved from there down to with you then, like from the Tinsmiths, from the welding section and everything?
Everyone who was still
Everyone,
there. Everyone
yeah.
moved down, yeah.
Yeah, the welding wise, who?
Yeah, all the welders. What were left.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't 12 there then. Offhand, I couldn't. 1, 2, 3 of us. That's all there was left.
Right. Yeah.
3,
I remember a lot of welders down at Scott's, down in when I first started. In that.
There was fabrication one end
Okay. Yeah.
where I finished up.
Yeah.
But we started off Bay 9, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were down there. All the control gear were down that end.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
And then you ended up where I knew.
Yeah,
That's
well,
where I knew you from, up the top end.
Yeah, of course the tinsmiths actually came up Sallows Road for a time.
Right.
And they were given an aluminium job to build. That was a cooler for a motor and generator that went on Trident submarines.
Okay.
And the air guide itself, which fitted on the top of the motor and covered it all in, that was aluminium, and I was the only one at the time who could weld aluminium. So I had to, 5 of them there was, 5 submarines, and there was 2 of them on each submarine. That's a submarine you don't hear much about, isn't it?
Yes, top secret. We won't talk about it.
They're still using them.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Well, they're nuclear powered.
Absolutely. I know the French are not happy at the moment.
The French?
But they do a submarine which is run by diesel. We've now signed a deal with, not Scots, but Britain has signed a deal with America and Australia to share information.
Yeah.
And the French aren't happy because their diesel submarines are now not going to be any good to anyone.
They sound like tanks underwater.
Well, this is weird, isn't it? Because obviously ours are going to be a lot quieter and a lot quicker.
Yeah,
so,
they used to make a sonar buoy
up
Sallows Road, and the RAF used to just drop them in the sea. They'd only last so long, and then they'd sink. And they could hear. They could hear the Russians. Well, they were noisy bloody things. Oh, actually, a lot of years ago, what was to do with doing that work, I got to hear one of the submarines, the Russian submarines, and that went right above one of our submarines.
Yeah?
Yeah, and they couldn't hear ours.
No. Nice. Yeah.
They had a thing what they used to drag behind stuff nuts we made, because they were all in Loch Ness.
Yeah.
And they used to go out to the sea and then dive, and they would be out there for their turn, 3 months, and they'd be underwater most of the time. So
what else did we make that was on that you were
that was a thing that was attached to the submarine, and that was hauled in, but once they got out to sea and submerged, they used to let it out, so it was about 30 yards behind.
Ah, right.
I can't remember what they were called, but they were bloody heavy.
Yeah.
And they were really thick material.
Well,
but they could listen, but they could also put out sounds. So if there was any danger of making a sound, they used to put out pings like whales and dolphins and things like that.
Wow, never heard about that.
Yeah, well, they were all, I don't know if they were secret.
Well, they're not now.
Well, we were told what they were.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Yeah. So your work colleagues at the time, who was like your best friend or your mate that you got on best with?
The one who worked next to me mostly was Carl. I can't think of his second name, and I got on with him and his father, who was a sheet metal worker.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah. In fact, Carl got in touch with me on not long back.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Yeah.
I did his brother's car, Cortina he had, and that was the Mark III, and Cam went for it.
Yeah.
And you had to take the head off. Of course, that went out the back of the engine when they were inline engines, rear wheel drive.
Who else do you remember from that sort of department? Yeah, go on
an
then.
Italian boy who
You can't remember?
I couldn't understand him.
All right.
Tony, you would have seen when he used to leave notes because we were on nights together.
Yeah.
Tony Piscani
Okay.
was one. Jack Charles.
Yeah.
Another one. Oh, blimey. I can say him, but remembering the names. Charlie Newby, he only had one hand.
Okay.
He was an electrician originally in London, lived in London, and him and his mates were driving along a road beside some girls, chatting away to him, and another car pulled in front of him. Someone got out to stab Charlie in the shoulder and severed the main artery into his arm.
Yeah.
He lay in hospital, in ice, on that arm for a fortnight, and he lay there and just watched his arm die.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
What,
I've got a name. Tom Fallon. Tom Fallon?
Tom.
Yeah.
Tom Dickinson.
Tom Dixon, I remember.
He went to Lewis.
Yeah.
He eventually went to
Yeah.
Lucas, yeah. I taught him how to weld aluminium.
Okay.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was
What are you
going
going
to
to say,
So
sir?
about the time we had that extension done, he was a friendly bricklayer. Well, bricklayer, he had a building firm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
His bricklayers come and done it. Charlie Newby come and did the electrics for me. You know, wired it out back to the
Yeah,
the meter. Yeah. He had a hook on his hand. And you can imagine somebody with a hook TIG welding.
yeah. No, I
You
can't
need
imagine.
two hands for
Yeah,
that.
I can't imagine.
He could weld down closer with the
Yeah.
wire, because that's bloody hard work.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then he'd let go of the wire and, you know, he had to
Yeah.
unhook it and then move back to use the rest of it. He could
Yeah.
work a lot
Of all the
closer.
jobs to do with a hook hand, that just seems a bit.
Yeah, well, I don't think he did that much TIG welding.
Yeah.
He did tell me a story about one particular job he did, and that was a manager from a different department, not even our hanger,
Alright.
told him to get on with it, want it straight away. Smash and grab, he used to call him, but I can't remember his name. He was
Someone
about,
will remember it.
yeah, was it Mike? We used to call him Ginger because he had reddish ginger hair, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's two up there. Yeah, he was. We used to call him Smash and Grab. Yeah, that was Ali Bronze.
Alright.
That was a shaft, and that had this boss fitted onto it, and that had to be welded round. You should preheat it. And he said, we ain't got time for that, just get him welded. And of course he did,
I thought you knew
and
that.
that fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cracked all the way around. When you get an expert who don't know what they're bloody talking about. You know?
Yes.
I wouldn't have done it, personally. I would not have done it. I knew what would happen.
Yeah.
So, no, I just wouldn't do it. What was the point? All that machining that would have to have again to get it back on and
Well,
welding.
that's something I've never done in my life.
Well, welding?
Yeah, never had a go.
Yeah.
Never had a go at that.
I'm surprised. Where did you do your apprenticeship then?
No, I didn't do it. I didn't do that either. No, I didn't do an apprenticeship. I
Didn't
came in.
you?
I came in like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to edit that bit out.
Yeah.
I'm joking. No, seriously though, it's not something I tried. I always fancied having a go, but
Yeah.
I was in a machine shop, and that's where I've been.
I'm trying to think.
Billy is.
Billy Coulter?
Yeah.
He's a relation of mine.
Yes. Yeah.
Through marriage.
Through marriage. Yeah.
His wife is my wife's cousin.
His wife's your wife's
Yeah.
cousin. Yeah. So you're still in contact with him then?
No, I ain't.
No.
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 I don't suppose any of his family are online.
Well, this is it. Obviously, being online helps
Yeah.
to keep
You know
people
where
in
he was
contact.
from, don't you?
Oh yeah, he's a Geordie lad, isn't he?
Geordie lad, yeah.
Yeah. He was a character, wasn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of characters at Scots.
You know I was a first aider.
That's right, yeah.
And Joey, was that?
Joy at the time, yeah.
She called me in one day. Somebody had squashed a thumb. And that gone black and that hurt, believe me. And she taught me how to get a hole in it.
Yeah, let the blood out.
Now, I had it done in hospital. And I'm sitting there with my thumb on a stick.
Everyone's eating their tea at the moment.
Oh, nothing to her.
Yeah.
She actually, the sister, she took a paper clip off her
I
collar.
hope she heated that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had this little methylated spirit lamp.
Yeah.
She lit that up. And I got my thumb like this, and she say to me, don't look, she say, because that ain't very pretty. And of course, I looked the other way, and she shoved it straight through.
Well, relieve the
They
pressure.
had to peel me off the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I had to do 3 with Joey watching me, to say I could then do it off my own back.
3
to
other
anybody
people.
else. I had to do
was
2
that
other
quite a
people.
common thing at Scots, eh?
Well, there was a builder working on site. He squashed his thumb between
Yeah.
bricks.
Yeah.
And that went black. But he said he'd had it done before. He actually commented how well I'd done it. What I used was a needle and on a lighter.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't want to get very hot, and that just eased it through,
Just enough
you know,
to-
a little bit
yeah.
at a time.
Yeah.
And of course, Billy sat there like this, waiting to thump me if I
Extra careful on him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a big lad.
So other than being a first aid, you're also a shop convener?
I was the firm's, the union convener, yeah, for a time. I was
yeah.
they classed me as a senior steward immediately,
Okay.
because I was the only shop steward of that particular union. That was before they all amalgamated.
So which union was that then initially for you?
Right,
Okay.
that was a hell of a length.
Yeah.
National Union, Sheet Metal Workers, Coppersmiths and Heating and Domestic Engineers.
I'm glad you said that.
Well, I'm surprised I remembered it.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised what you can remember, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then when it amalgamated into what I would have known as...
Same as it is now, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What is the union now? I can't remember. I get letters from them still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now...
I can't remember where they are now.
So that then, did you do that right through to the end, yeah?
No, I packed that in. I knew I was going to leave anyway, didn't I?
Well,
Come to
yeah.
retirement, because they changed it in that year.
Right.
And off camera, I'll tell you a little story.
Yeah, we'll save some stories for our off camera, yeah.
Yeah, but somebody else took over, and funny thing is, I see a picture of him online last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his flipping name now. I'm terrible with names.
No, that's
I was
fine.
out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. I tried to go through my class at school and remember them all. And believe it or not, I found one of them. He left and went to the CNS, I believe.
Okay.
Went from junior school. And now, technically, we didn't have a junior school because that was bombed during the war.
Right.
So I went to infant school, which was St Leonard's Road in Thorpe Hamlet, and then went directly to the Croom School, which isn't there now, only the buildings. We had 2 or 3 classrooms, because you had a boys' school and a girls' school, and we were in between.
Yeah.
My sister, who's 3 years, 8 months younger than me, went to a new school for juniors, which was Wolf Road. Not very far from where we live.
No, I know what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, then, so you stayed welding throughout, didn't you? Yeah. Did you
Well, apart from the shoe trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to go into any other departments because that's what you knew, huh? Yeah.
Well, no, I was a sheet metal worker.
Yeah.
I didn't like it a lot.
Who was your boss at the time then?
Oh, I'm talking about Heat Ray.
All right, no.
Who
was your boss?
There's no way I can remember.
We don't
that.
talk about Heat Ray.
Oh, the manager's name was Chasney.
Heat
Mr.
Ray?
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about Heat Ray.
No, we don't. I just came to him.
Yeah.
And thought about him for a long while, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Fine. I'll cut that bit out.
Well, yeah, you can do that,
Yeah.
can't you?
So yeah, going on to bosses and Scots.
Alan Seaman was my foreman.
Yeah.
Well, they had a few foremen in number 10 hangar, each department.
Yeah.
Because we even had a press shop in there. And I can't remember the foreman there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, and as I say, Alan Seaman, I lived in Primrose Road, about halfway, as a wedge-shaped road.
I know.
Because that's got a dead end. Do you know
I think
Primrose
I know what you
Road?
mean. Yeah, yeah.
If you came up from the low part, you come up a hill onto a flat and go straight along, and there's a big brick wall. I lived on the house
I
on the
don't
left.
know that well. I just know where it is.
Yeah. But that also went up the other way,
Right.
and he lived at number 99. And Alan, although I didn't know him because he was a few years older than me,
Yeah.
there was just our group, and there was a few of us, believe me, and there was a maximum, I think, 4, perhaps 5 years between us, and we all used to go around together.
Nice, yeah.
We used to spend a hell of a lot of time in the woods, on Telegraph Lane, playing up there. When you had your holiday from school in the summer, God, we lived up there. Yeah, we did.
So
Good times.
Your times at Scots were they were enjoyable, yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I never had any problems there. I got on with the people.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was 1 or 2 bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Every place goes through it.
That's it.
But that one, the people I worked with.
It's the system, if you like.
That was technically the system, perhaps, and there was very, very few of them.
Yeah.
I started at the time when they'd had a strike at some time in the previous. We never ever went out on strike after I started there.
Yeah, no,
Never. We've got close to
I
one or
remember
two.
a lot of talks about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a lot of
yeah.
meetings, didn't we? But
There was a.
did you feel pressured then? Because like you obviously you're trying to do your welding job as well, and you're trying to do your shop steward stuff. You're trying
Yeah,
to,
but I
you're
wasn't
trying
shop
to
steward, was I to start with? So
no, you're talking to management,
Yeah.
you're talking to the shop floor as such.
Yeah.
Do you always? I always thought, wow, I would never want to do that job.
Yeah.
You know? Did you not feel pressured to
No,
try and
no,
keep
I
everyone
didn't.
happy
No,
and try
no,
and get the
not
best
at
for
all.
everyone? Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously had one or two incidents. I had one chap who I sorted out his problem, if you know what I mean.
I thought it was a
Just us
single
two.
person, one problem. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't a union member.
No.
Not that. Was that yours?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's right.
Someone would have joined Facebook, the works group.
Yeah.
I don't know who that was, Mark Parker. But yeah, so individual problems, you know, you had to help them out, even if you did,
Well,
probably
that
didn't
was-
agree. But when it came to pay talks, you know, you're never going to please everyone,
No.
especially if it went to a vote.
You can go believe this, but one of the biggest problems I had with the shop floor, if you like, was when we changed our hours from 5-day week to 4.5.
Yeah,
Can you remember that?
yeah, yeah.
I had people from my old union worked right down the other end of Scots.
Yeah.
They were coming up to me with suggestions and thinking that's the bee's knees, you know. You had to go with the majority, and we put it out, you know, on a sheet.
Yeah, if you weren't going to get any pennies, you had to then try and come up with another solution. And lesser hours obviously worked in the long run.
That's how we got the flute days.
Well, yeah, we now finish at 12 on a Friday, and everyone
Yeah,
loves it.
well,
you
yeah,
know.
so I
They
think that was
probably wouldn't have
12.
voted for that
Yeah, I
over
think
money.
that was 12:15.
Well, yeah,
the shift.
Yeah, initially it was up
Yeah.
past, quarter past, and now
Yeah.
for shift workers it's 12.
12 o'clock for shift, yeah.
Going further back, they would have probably said, "Oh, we want extra money," and if you're not going to get it, you're not going to get it. You know?
Yeah.
So now they all enjoy their short days on a Friday. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did. They used to give me a good chance to go around and see my mother. Because that was literally on the way home, you know, so I
Yeah.
could drop in any time, but at least I could go there and sit there for a couple of 3 hours, because more often than not my wife was working.
Yeah.
Which is why I went on nights, if you want to go back to that. She was a nurse and went back, after the kids were born, she went back part-time.
Yeah.
She'd be there when they were at school.
Yeah.
But she applied for the sisters post. Her ward had 2 sisters, unusually. That was Burns and Plastics, Lakenham ward at West Norwich. And when the A sister, one of the 2, when she retired, my wife put in for it and got it.
Right. Yeah.
So I did a government training scheme to learn welding, which was only 30 weeks.
Yeah.
You have to do the first 3 weeks and you're assessed on that. I did that and then had taught me off. So the young lad who started at the same time as me was technically 2 weeks ahead. We kept together the whole way through. I caught him up and we kept together and we'd finished the course but couldn't leave 5 weeks early. We used to go around other departments and find something to do.
The Gothic Social Club, did you use that much?
I used it more before I worked for Scots than I did after.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah,
No.
because some mates used to play in groups.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you go up there and watch music and stuff.
Yeah.
So what was your sporting interest? Because
Well, I've always been an angler since I was a kid.
right, I knew that. Yeah.
Admittedly, for the last 4 or 5 years, I haven't been able to manage it,
Right, yeah.
and I've still got some fishing gear.
Yeah. But very keen
but-
angler, yeah.
Very, very keen.
Yeah.
Another one of my long-term interests is 10-pin bowling. I first bowled when 6 of us out in my car. My mother and father included, because that's when they were column change gears.
Blimey.
I can't remember, at South End. Somewhere anyway, they had a bowling alley and we just happened to go in
Yeah.
and we had a game. That was my first.
So did
Yeah.
lots of Scots organise a little temping bowling
We did,
tournament?
yeah, we did have
And
tournaments.
everyone
yeah.
wanted you on their team?
Well, our department could manage to get a team together.
Oh, so it was the interdepartmental teams?
Yeah, in the department. Well, they used to run a lot of inter-department, like darts.
Yeah, I remember the darts and the
Well, I won it
five-a-sides.
one year.
The darts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
how
had-
did-
in one game, remember there's 8 of you,
Yeah.
and you're scoring 1,001.
Yeah.
I think I was the last one, what they call anchor man.
Yeah.
I only got 1 throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a double.
It was out. No, I didn't get a shot. No, I went up and got my score.
Oh, okay.
But a couple of them, brothers,
Yeah.
both painters, Eric and Griff,
Painters at Scots, yeah.
yeah, Salhouse Road. They were fantastic dart players.
Yeah.
Eric shot the 98 with 2 darts wearing a leather jacket. Yeah.
So we've had some good sportsmen go through Scots, haven't we?
have
I know
some
that.
very good
Some
ones,
good footballers, some good cricketers.
Yeah. I used to play
10-pin
football.
bowling. Who else played that then? Who was better than you? Was
What,
there,
at Scots?
yeah, was there 1 or 2?
I'm trying to think if I didn't really play against many people at Lawrence Scott.
Right, yeah.
That might sound weird, but I didn't because I was a league bowler. I used to bowl against some very good bowlers,
Yeah.
very good. In fact, a mate of mine now was number 3 in England at
Wow.
one time.
Yeah.
So I meet on a Monday when I got there.
Okay.
Yeah, he usually bowled on lane
Yeah.
29.
And was there a fishing club as well, wasn't there? Was you in
No,
that?
I was never in that.
You were never
no.
in that? Even though you're a key angler, you weren't in that?
I did belong to a club once because before we lived here.
A club associated with Scots?
No.
But there was a fishing club in Scots, wasn't
there was, yeah.
Yeah.
That was match fishing.
Oh, okay.
The only club I've ever belonged to was a pub just off. Can't even think of the name of the bloody road I lived down there.
So,
I can't even think of it.
Sorry,
No,
yeah.
but that was a club that run in the pub.
Okay.
And they were informal matches, you know, you didn't
Yeah.
draw for pitch or whatever.
So what you doing with yourself now then, since you've finished Scots? How long you been gone now? That'd be...
Well, that was 2007, early 2007 I
Yeah.
finished, or May, something like that.
13
2007.
Yeah. So what have you been doing with yourself?
Recently, over the last few years,
Yeah.
I've always had an air rifle.
Alright.
And
Sporty again?
my son came round here. No, I didn't used to do anything with it particularly.
No.
'Cause we used to walk about with them at one time, years and years ago.
I'm sure you did.
That wood I told you about in there where I used to
Yeah.
live, I used to put the gun in the car and go off up there.
Yeah, times are different now.
Yeah, well, especially with them guns.
But you're enjoying your retirement, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
Gardening and stuff.
You know, it's like my son come and borrowed my air rifle, which was what we call a Springer.
Yeah.
Break barrel, and then put 1 pellet in.
Yeah.
And
Well, we've got a few pigeons, little seagulls at work. Maybe you ought to come down.
yeah, we're not allowed to shoot seagulls.
No, I know. Just scare them off. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're a bugger on
we
the
get a
cows.
lot of them around here as well.
Yeah.
Get them everywhere now. They aren't seagulls anymore, they're gulls.
Yeah.
There's no fish out there.
Well, this is it. Come inland, don't they? Scavengers.
Yeah.
Right, I am going to have to end it there.
Yeah.
I could talk for ages with you.
Well, yeah.
Again, thanks very much for doing the
Yeah,
interview.
you're quite welcome.
And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, quite welcome, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah.